It actually looks pretty cool, and it goes with the music.
5, 6, 7,
Why do I have to hide who I really am to be safe from harm?
And or from hearing stupid remarks from non-understanding, self-centered, shallow, rude, uneducated, homophobic people.
Why do I have to go through abuse if I choose to wear a pink shirt with tight jeans?
Why when I say that a guy is cute or attractive, I get looked at like I'm crazy, called gay, or even worse, a faggot?
Why do I have to keep continuously being asked about my sexual orientation? Why does it matter?
Why?
Why does the world care who I and or choose to live the rest of my life with?
Why does it matter?
Why are they so afraid of us?
Do we all have some kind of illness or disease?
Why does the way I walk and talk measure how much of a man I am?
Why when I was born, I was given a blue blanket instead of a blue and a pink?
Why can I be asked whether I have a boyfriend or a girlfriend? And why does that matter anyway?
Either way, why should it matter?
We're going to opt out of this. Okay, well, I don't want to read this. That's being honest with you.
All been thought, all been said, all been treated in, literature throughout forever.
I didn't know gay people existed till high school. Like, I didn't know any gay people, and I went to high school, and then, I knew, but I never met.
My parents, I was born in the USSR, so that was, something that you got sent to jail for, and it was not in the open at all. Like, I didn't even know what a gay person was. I don't think, my parents never talked to me about it or ever made positive or negative comments about it. So I think, I got to know it in high school. Like, of course, in high school, everybody's experimenting, everybody's, very much going against the norm. So it kind of developed on my own. I never saw it, around me from older people, I guess.
Let's say, for example, that I got something in my genetic makeup that just makes me want to murder the next guy that walks by here. Well, I can either choose to murder that guy, or I can look at God's Word, and God's Word says, murder is a sin, so I can either withdraw from that. Well, if I was a gay guy, and God's Word says that's not right for my life, I can either, even though I'm gay, I can either withdraw from that sin, or I can choose to take part of that sin. Either way, I'm going to be judged by God. See, and it doesn't make any difference whether it's murder or cheating or lying or gay activity or whatever it is. If God's Word says that it's not right, I got to be careful that I don't do that. I got to take that sin out of my life, because sin's the chain on me that drags me down, that is going to cast my soul into hell. But if I can trust in Jesus Christ, and if I can be freed from that, then that's okay. And it doesn't make any difference whether. We'll take 1 million gay guys in our church. They can come in any time, as long as they give their heart to Christ and they don't sin. That's the bottom line. That's all Christ.
And by not sinning, you mean not being gay?
Practicing. Yeah.
I believe in free choice, male or female, whether you want to be transgender, transsexual, gay or lesbian, doesn't matter to me as long as you respect everybody else and you live truthfully to yourself. People say, oh, it's not in the Bible. I do not care. Not even that. I am Christian, but I don't believe God will give you the ability to love somebody of the same gender if He did not love you. That's between you and your God. But that's my personal general belief, is that He would not let you love somebody if it wasn't meant to be. That's your own individual struggle.
To me, like what someone else does or chooses to love is not my problem, and who I choose to love is not anyone else's problem. So why should it matter?
I didn't strike me as coming from any anger or anything. It's just I'm in this world, and so are you, and I have a right to be treated on an equal par with you, and I don't understand why I'm not being treated that way. That's how it struck me.
I think it's a frustrated point of view, which is completely understandable. Like I didn't feel, internal anger obviously is coming through that, but I just felt more frustrated of like wanting acceptance and, maybe wanting more of like a dialogue, wanting someone to understand rather than lashing out.
I guess it could be seen that way, but at the same time, it also seems like it's a little curious, like just sort of like why, like what kind of a place do we live in when it,
Do you ever ask yourself these things?
No.
No, the person's upset and frustrated and probably has dealt with stereotyping a lot and so just wants to like vent,
I really don't remember. When people say it's based on anger, it kind of like makes me think back to when I wrote it like 3 years ago. Like if I was angry at that time, reading it now, I really think it's like curiosity, like just why.
Yeah, after reading that poem, I've personally gone through why do you wear this kind of hairstyle, why do you dress the way you do, and it doesn't really matter because it's not hurting anybody. From middle school to about mid-high school, I was a punk. I bleached my hair, dyed it red, wore black makeup, complete black for ensemble. My favorite band still is Linkin Park, Korn, all of that, but you wouldn't think that a black woman would wear that kind of clothes. And even from speaking, I grew up in Left Rank City, which it's not ghetto, but it's not the best neighborhood. But then when I would go to a high school, in my college I'm at right now, somebody told me, I've never met a black person like you before because you speak so eloquently. And I was like, okay.
Why do I have to hide who I really am to be safe from harm and or from hearing stupid remarks from non-understanding, self-centered, shallow, rude, uneducated, homophobic people? So I can relate to that as just being a minority in this country. So.
Like what someone else does or chooses to love is not my problem, and who I choose to love is not anyone else's problem, so why should it matter,
The purpose of doing this project, I really want people to think. That's all I want them to do. I want them to think for themselves. I don't want, them to let their pastor think for them.